welcome to COP16. It's a great pleasure to meet you. So, as we discussed, you're from Tunisia, right?
Yes. My home country is from Tunisia.
Very nice. And I was working as well, like about 4 months in Tunisia.
That's incredible. The word is too small. Yes.
Yeah, so it was a pleasant surprise. So you told me that you live here in Saudi Arabia, right? So
yes.
Can you share with the audience of ALLATRA TV what brings you to Saudi Arabia from Tunisia? What are you doing here?
It's a career ambition, you know. First of all, my name is Bouchra Belhaj Abdallah. I am a doctor and a PhD in emergent contaminant of the environment. I got my PhD at Simon Fraser University in Canada, but then I finished with them the postdoc, and then I was elected or selected as emergent leader of my country in 2022 from the School of Transnational Governance. Among thousands, I was chosen for my country. We were 23 leader fellow. We had the pleasure to meet the EU institutions, the EU policy makers, the EU policy leaders. We exchanged the gaps in the agenda of the UN 2030. We've also spoke with leaders from the African Union too. So it was really constructive feedback and exchange among the whole people at the EU institutions. And then I was a manager and the with the postdoc position at the Agency of Research in Tunisia. And then I came here as an expert in environment and climate change governance and sustainability, working with MIWA and also a company like Palladium. We are trying to build a better roadmap for citizens here, highlighting the environmental quality indicators, how we can ensure or track the progress in Saudi Arabia in terms of quality and well-being of people and better life too, because, you know, everything is connected, Serge, right? So this is why I am in Saudi Arabia. I started in February, and now I am in COP16 since I am a member of the Science and Technology Committee that review the scientific committee. I am one of the people that reviewed the scientific content of the Green Zone, and I'm trying to learn from each country, each speaker, each stakeholder, each sponsor, investor, even media communication, because, you know, scientific communication is the key things to deliver message in big events like COP16, COP29, and COP16 like happened in Colombia. So I am here with you. I was pleased to see you, because I know that you work in Tunisia too, so this is why I'm here.
So you are the member of Scientific Board of Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And among what you've seen now at COP16, what are like top 2 or top 3 scientific discoveries or products or solutions have you seen here, from your opinion?
This is my first time ever in COPs, right? But it was a pleasant presence because, you know, one of the things is like everybody, science and technology and UNFCCC, in climate change is not inextractable from biodiversity technology or from biodiversity in water or from science. You cannot extract it from biodiversity or climate change or desertification. And this is the heart of things in COP16, because everybody is looking forward to work together in synergy with the Rio Convention of United Nations, right? I've seen people talking about policy integration, better in the agenda, seeing people talking about science platform interface and how they are tailored to the countries, how nations can be better served. I've seen devices too, and one of the devices was Cumulus. You mentioned technology, and so Cumulus is a Tunisian startup now expanding in the world, right? right? They are looking into scarcity of water in drought and desertification issue we are living now. And this is the heart of COP16, one of the big issue, one of the big questions that people trying to solve here, like how we can serve people with science and technology, how we can provide better, how we can be resilient in terms of water mainly. I think there are a lot to coming up from turning air to drops of water like did Cumulus. There are many other startups that are working toward building resilience for nations and trying to solve issues here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's the company that you mentioned that is...
I remember your question at that time. That's why I was running to you. You were asking about any startup that is transforming any atmospheric humid things to water. And it jumped into my mind, the startup that is in Tunisia. And I know very well that Cumulus was a great success, not only for my country, but now in Europe, in Africa. We know that many countries in Africa, they don't have access to water. I mean, science and technology can deliver good things to people, can deliver ways for decision making, to better assess the need of people, and also deliver for nations tools and mechanisms how to be resilient and live better in this climate change crisis and the pollution crisis and loss of biodiversity. I mean, it's all connected, Serge.
Thank you actually for mentioning that science cannot be like separated or like clustered, because we live in an interconnected world.
Yes.
And everything, the climate, the soil, the atmosphere, the oceans, like everything is connected. It's an interesting chain of events. At COP29, we as ALLATRA International Climate Movement volunteers, we presented a research that has to be like more deeply studied. So according to this research, we believe that the use of atmospheric water generators can help in the next 2-3 years. This is what all people want. They want results. They want to see the action. Yes, they want tangible results.
Yes.
So according to the this startup research that we have done, if all countries of the world will stop extracting the water from the planet, this will reduce the pressure on our planet. And these atmospheric water generators, if they are used on the government levels, if we take water from the air, and it will help to clean the ocean from plastic.
Yes.
It will help to reduce the unwanted rain.
Yeah.
And this is the question which I was asking for the panelists at one of the events, and then you came
and talk about
Cumulus. So I do understand that you need like more time, because scientific questions cannot be answered like out of the blue.
Quickly,
But what is your opinion? What do you think, theoretically even? If we try to propose this to the Saudi Arabia Scientific Board or to MENA countries or anywhere that we can do a startup like the Tunisian company, if we can make some event of the producers of atmospheric water generators to join the forces and to study how it can be beneficial. So what's your opinion on this? How we can take this forward?
I mean, I think Cumulus is already doing it, right? I know Ehab is meeting with the president of France in Saudi Arabia days ago. Yes,
I saw the post just recently.
Definitely they are thinking the same way of expanding to the less country that is having, to the countries that are having less water resources naturally, right? And also that are putting more pressure on their ground reservoir of water, right? I mean, to speak in general, science and technology can deliver better and more than that. This is just only Cumulus. But if we zoom and invest more in ideas and be aware about the responsibility that the science and technology can take on their shoulders to solve people's problems and needs, so we can deliver more for water, for biodiversity tracking, laws, for quality of life, for air improvement, anything. So I think science and technology is something we need to live with since now and forever. We can't do anything without science, even for the policies, even for now negotiating with science and technology committees. I mean, everything is science-based. Everything is science-based, right? And then trying to use this science and technology-based thing to deliver better decision-making by the decision leaders, right?
Thank you so much. Well, this is actually what we've seen at COP28 in Dubai, COP29 in Baku, now COP16 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, that people want action, people want decisions, people want the opening ceremony here. The president of COP and the secretary of UNCCD and Mr. Johan from the Stockholm University, they all say that we are almost reaching the point of no return. So it would be probably good that we finally start doing something, like, you know, and
actions.
Instead of like trying to do everything in a perfect way, trying to be like a good student, you know. Let us be maybe not the best student, but we
do
should
whatever
try.
you can
We
with
should
what
try.
you have.
Yes,
Exactly.
Even if we do 500 mistakes, 1,000 mistakes,
learn from
it and fix it, because it seems that we do not have much time and almost we have nothing to lose.
Yes.
And if we, like you said, 5 years, yeah, the climatic progression, if it will continue like this, every year it will double, triple, fivefold the amount of earthquakes, floods. Right now, as we are speaking, just we discussed with you, the flood in
Libya.
In Libya, heavy rain in Tunisia, and like forest fires.
Extreme weathering conditions everywhere.
Everywhere. So thank you so much for sharing this. I hope our viewers would go deeper into the subject. And to conclude, I would like to ask if you can wish something, or if you can address the people or the countries who are already facing the climate Cerberus consequences, the droughts, the floods, who maybe lost their houses or loved ones. What will be your maybe message to them?
I mean, my message is to government, actually. I'm with all empathy with what people are facing now, whether in Spain, recently with floods, and now with Libya happening the same thing. Libya is twice consecutive times in less than 6 months. It's too much. Everything is destroyed. A huge loss in terms of economy and infrastructure, and so what I say, if we could avoid that by making an action plan of readiness and being more resilient in terms of climate change and extreme weathering condition, we should reduce vulnerability and increase our readiness. We should be aware about this data, because this data should be accessible and everybody should know about this. The small people, the farmer, the student, everyone, but they are not the one taking the action and putting money on the table. They are not the one putting action plan and roadmap. They can be participant in doing all of this, but the decision comes from government. So an action plans for readiness to fight against those climate weathering conditions is something key. So we can reduce the amount of loss in terms of economics. We can also protect what we can protect, from coast to land, right? And protect home as well. So people without home, what we do now? Everything is flooded, right? So even for agriculture, the loss in agriculture is huge. So this is my last and final call, and I hope this would help really to accelerate things forward.
Thank you so much, Bouchra.
Welcome.
As you've heard the viewers, it's a final call. We are almost at the point of no return. So please join us, take some time to study the topic of climate change, study the agenda of United Nations for the climate change, for the combating desertification. Please join the efforts of combating the climate change and finding solutions, since this is a matter of intergovernmental, of global security, and we all should participate in order to secure the future of ourselves and our children. Thank you.